With the release of Windows 11 coming later this year, I thought it would be a good idea to rank the top 5 Windows operating systems that I had used throughout my childhood. I grew up only using 5 Windows operating systems throughout my life, so I will be ranking those 5 operating systems from worst to best. I'm Omega, and I will be showing you the top 5 best Windows operating systems that I used. I've only got to use Windows 8 for a month, but when I used it, the interface made me very confused and it looked more like it was meant for a TV instead of a computer. I understand that Microsoft wanted Windows to be easier to use on their tablets, but this just wasn't meant for a computer. I don't remember exactly if it was the 8.1 version that I was using, but either version I had a tough time with. The start button had also disappeared, so I always had to press the Windows key on the keyboard to get to the start menu, which was very annoying since I personally don't use hotkeys that much. The start menu takes over the whole screen, which is really annoying. There really isn't anything else that memorable about Windows 8 because I only used it for a month, and that's all I really have to say for Windows 8. Windows Vista was a huge fail for Microsoft. Back when it was first released, it was buggy and slow. At the time, average computers weren't capable of the high-end graphics that Vista had. Most of the computers were designed for the previous version of Windows, but they were compatible with Vista. However, they were only compatible with the Home Edition, which the infamous arrow theme was missing. This made Vista very controversial and users just weren't happy with it. However, my parents were lucky enough to find a high-end computer that ran Windows Vista in August of 2007. It was very enjoyable and memorable actually, and we got the Ultimate version, which had the arrow graphics and wasn't buggy at all from what I remember. I remember exploring the computer and listening to the default music. I remember watching the visualizations that were in Windows Media Center and I loved it. It really reminds me of the times when I was 5 years old playing Funbrain and Pop Tropica. I really liked how pretty it looked too, but it wasn't all bad. You are now able to search for any program you want to use, which wasn't available in previous versions. The sidebar and gadgets were a great addition as well. It's such a shame that it drew people away and the popularity didn't last long. By the time the bugs were fixed and improvements were made, a newer and much better version of Windows came out. Overall, I didn't think it was as bad as other people thought, but again, I was using a higher end computer which worked well with Vista. I had a hard time deciding between Vista and Windows 10, but since I used Windows 10 for much longer, I decided to put Windows 10 in third place. Windows 10 made big improvements and introduced many things that Windows 8 didn't have. The start button came back, and the start menu was similar looking to the older versions. This made Windows 10 very nice to use and was much easier to navigate than Windows 8. The only thing I don't like about Windows 10 is that it doesn't look all that great. I preferred the skeuomorphism used in older Windows versions. Now everything looks flat and boring. Cortana was really annoying and I don't think anyone even likes Cortana. Despite all of that, I had a great time using Windows 10, although it really wasn't all that memorable since it was the current version. Windows XP has got to be the most memorable version of Windows I've ever used. My school computers had it until around 2010 or 2011. I remember during kindergarten and first grade we would be playing Funbrain and other online games using Adobe Flash Player. In 2008, my family got another computer for me and my sisters to use which ran Windows XP. I used that computer a lot until it broke around the spring of 2014. It was a shame my dad got rid of it and didn't back up my files, so everything on that computer is long gone. Windows XP was lots of fun to use. I remember this yellow dog that would ask you where your files are. I also remember Clippy from Microsoft Word 2003. I did everything from music composing to video editing to even making Mario levels when I was little. Windows XP was also really convenient and really easy to use. The start button clearly said start and it was very easy to navigate. I used Internet Explorer 7, back when Internet Explorer was the dominant internet browser. It was really nice to look at the Bliss image and how everything looks so perfect. What really surprised me is how old Windows XP actually is. It was released in 2001, before I was even born. I first thought it was released in 2003 or 2004. That really shows how much success Windows XP had. Unfortunately, nothing gold can stay, and the Windows XP masterpiece is no exception. But despite how much I enjoyed it, there's one more that tops this list. Windows 7 was definitely the best version of Windows I've ever used. It is very similar to Vista, but better. It improved every problem that Vista had. The taskbar has been changed to make it so much easier to open programs. It was still using the arrow theme just like Vista, one of the reasons why people still use Windows 7 today. Everything about it just looks amazing, but it's not just the looks that made this my favorite version of Windows. So are the features that make Windows 7 even easier. It's also more up to date than Windows XP, although Windows 7 extended support had ended last year, leaving you vulnerable to threats on your computer. I remember doing everything on my parents' computer running Windows 7 that I did on my other computer that ran Windows XP, and I enjoyed it even more. It's only a matter of time before we see how good Windows 11 will be, but until then, thanks for watching.